Connecting the SWAC, the MEAC-SIAC, and the CIAA. The HBCU experience lives here. It's the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the HBCU Report is back and better than ever. We're being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by our content partners over at sportsnewsandbrews.com. For the latest in sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers, check out sportsnewsandbrews.com. All right, so Rob Calloway back here with you, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to tackle another awesome football season in the world of HBCU football, HBCU sports, SWAC, MEAC, CIAA, SIAC. And let's just say this. I wasn't sure if this show was even going to get off the ground this morning. Had the opportunity to join my former co-host, Big Mike of Sports Kings Radio last night to promote this thing. And then, lo and behold, I get ready to start working. And, man, this thing was freezing up left and right, left and right, left and right. But hopefully God will see us through this thing this morning. But, you know, we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. I'll just say this. The show is going to grow by leaps and bounds each and every week. We've got a jam-packed show for you coming up on this morning show. But, you know, of course, football season got underway Thursday, so I'll just briefly mention some of the scores that already came in from Thursday night, where we saw Delaware down Delaware State of the MEAC 56-14. Jackson State went out to Vegas to kick off the season and lost to UNLV 63-13. But let me just pause right there. I cannot imagine being in a university band at Alabama State University and they tell us, oh, guess what? You're opening the season in Vegas. We would have been acting some straight monkeys down in Vegas. Oh, my God. I'm sure they had a great time. And the other game you saw, and this was actually last night, Mississippi Valley State fell to Eastern Michigan 61-14. So those FBS, HBCU things, yeah, the butt whippings are still real. And there's another one coming up later today when Miami takes on Florida A&M, the new look Miami Hurricanes led by Mark Richt, my guy, Mark Richt. All right, so we got a big one coming up this Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. It is the MEAC-SWAC Challenge that sees the SWAC champion Alcorn State University Braves taking on the Bethune Cookman Wildcats, a team that shared a portion of the MEAC championship. They weren't in the Celebration Bowl as the MEAC representative. That honor went to North Carolina A&T, but they have won a share of the MEAC the last 4 out of 6 years. And so we're going to dive right off into this thing. Coming up after the break, we will be joined by first-year head coach at Alcorn State University, Fred McNair. And in case you're saying, Fred McNair, why does that name sound so familiar? Well, he's the older brother of the late, great Steve McNair. And so he's been on the staff, and he recently was appointed the head coach. And so we're going to talk to him as we preview the MEAC-SWAC Challenge, Alcorn State versus Bethune Cookman, 1 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. And then to close out the show, we're going to be joined by the executive director of the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, the game that actually crowns the outright FCS HBCU champion. Mr. John Grant going to join the show, and he'll be joining us several times throughout the season as we count down to the Celebration Bowl. All right. So all of that and more coming up right here on the HBCU Report. I am Rob Calloway. We're being heard via Spreaker.com, and we're being powered by our content partners at sportsnewsandbrews.com.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cool time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
It's the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway.
Good Saturday morning to you and yours. This is the HBCU Report being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by sportsnewsandbrews.com. And as I've been mentioning in the opening segment, coming up this Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff on ESPN, you have the MEAC-SWAC Challenge. It is Alcorn State University representing the SWAC versus Bethune Cookman of the MEAC. And right now we are being joined by first-year head coach at Alcorn State University, a man whose name is synonymous with the Alcorn State, talking about Fred McNair. First of all, Fred, welcome back to the show. Well, welcome back to the show in the capacity as head coach.
Man, thanks for inviting me, man. It's always a pleasure to get a chance to talk to you, man.
Oh, great stuff, man. So, all right. So before we talk about this weekend's game and Alcorn State and all of that good stuff, Coach Jay Hobson, who had been there for a few years, came in, turned the program around. I remember when he first took the job, a lot of folks were scratching their heads like, what? Alcorn State hired a white head coach. What's up with this? But he turned out to be a really, really solid coach and helped Alcorn State climb back up into the ranks where, the school was once again recognized for outstanding football program. But once Jay Hobson decided that he was going to leave after you guys made the appearance in the inaugural Celebration Bowl, how did it feel once your name was called that you would be the head coach of your alma mater?
I tell you what, I was a happy person, man, and I've been trying to get this job for a while, and unfortunately, it didn't happen then. But God always have a plan for you. So, it was a great honor for Dr. Rankin and the athletic director, Mr. Horn, to bring him into this program and let me be the head of it. And I'm humble about it. And you started me playing here at the university and then coming back coaching for 4 years, and now being thrown into the head coaching position here. I'm very overwhelmed about it, and I'm very happy that I am the head coach here at this program.
Absolutely. Now, the last time we had the opportunity of seeing the Alcorn State University Braves on the field, as I mentioned, it was December 19th in the inaugural Armed Forces Celebration Bowl where you guys fell to North Carolina A&T 34-41 in front of about 40,000 people in a game that was, unbelievable, especially when you talk about the second half, how you guys really made this a ball game in the second half. How exciting was it to be on the coaching staff for this inaugural Black College Championship football game?
It's always exciting to be part of something special like the inaugural Celebration Bowl for the first one. And, for many years, I always wondered why we wouldn't have a bowl or some of that nature for the SWAC and the MEAC, also. But the Air Force, they put on a good show for us and gave us the opportunity to have be a part of something special, special bowl game like that. And, for the turnout to be that the world with the crowd and everything that goes along with it, and being a part of something special, just bringing excitement to this university, first of all, and it was a great experience for us. Now,
from a recruiting standpoint, have you been able to see a difference since, last December up until this point with the recruits that you all have been able to bring in?
Oh, yeah, of course. You're always at that point in time where you can bring kids in and you be part of something special like that and put that on the resume as a recruiting tool, just being a part of a bowl game, which everybody want to be a part of that. They look at all the SEC teams and the other schools, big schools that participate in those bowl games, and you just think that, by now, it should be a bowl game for the SWAC and MEAC and giving us that little edge to bring in more recruits at that standpoint. I think it's a great deal for us, and it's a great cutting edge for us in recruiting.
Now, when you talk about championship football games, in the SWAC, you don't know, but I'm an alum of Alabama State, so I'm SWAC family. But for the SWAC, we have this SWAC football championship game at the end of the season, and then the winner goes on now to the Celebration Bowl. But the MEAC not so much. They don't have because they say they don't have an even number of teams, so they don't have a conference championship game. But how much do stock should be put into a conference championship game? If one conference plays one, the SWAC, and the MEAC doesn't.
Well, the biggest thing is we'll let hopefully they can come up with some kind of way to be a competitor as of having a championship game for the MEAC as well. least two teams get in and fight it out instead of, having to wait for a point spread or whatever it may be to be that number one team to compete in the Celebration Bowl. And for the SWAC concern, I think it's a great deal for us to have a even number of teams that can, on both sides, the East and the West, to kind of push on like that, to have an extra game in there, extra synergy in there to be able to play in a SWAC championship and just win it outright, in a situation like that. But I think it's very good to be able to do that. And, more publicity and, get that extra game in before the Celebration Bowl.
Absolutely. This is the HBCU Report being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsAndBrews.com. Make sure you check Sports News and Brews out for all the latest in sports news. And then, the world's greatest thirst quencher, the Brews. Yeah, that's my favorite part of the website. But we're being joined right now by Fred McNair, head football coach of the Alcorn State University Braves. The Braves are in action this Sunday versus the Wildcats of Bethune Cookman University. 1 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. It is the MEAC-SWAC Challenge, the very first game on the road to the Celebration Bowl, if you will. All right, Coach, now let's talk about this season, this upcoming season. Your first year as the head coach there at Alcorn State. What type of things have you been implementing within the program to make your own mark at Alcorn?
I guess the biggest thing is just coming in and just being a head coach for one, and getting my staff surrounded by me and making sure that we're on point of the things we have to do to get these kids what they need to be successful. Not only on the football field, in the classroom as well. And we speak highly of academics here at Alcorn State, and the kids know that. And we just got to make sure that they're doing the right things as far as academic-wise. And as far as the program, we just a cut and dry team, and we just going to try to do everything right and be fundamental sound and be more of a tempo-up team than we've been in the past. And just kind of speed the process up on offense and play fast on defense. That's my motto, just being able to play fast. And if we do that and catch team off guard on offense, I think we'll be a whole lot effective as far as this program is concerned. And on defense side of the ball, the same way, make it simple and play fast. I think kids play a whole lot better. We don't have a whole lot to think about. So Coach Thomas knows that what I expect from this side of the ball, and he's doing a great job with his staff on that side of the ball and implementing the defense that is designed for these kids to play fast. So we're going to be complex, but we're going to be simple too. But we're going to do a lot of things that get team proper.
Absolutely. Now, Lenoris Footman, senior this year, quarterback, had an outstanding game in the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. How have you been able to help him? Since you're a quarterback, how have you been able to help him mature going into his senior year?
Last year I coached Lenoris as a quarterback coach, and just being in that room with him and being able to discuss things with him as far as coaching defense and punts and stunts and all that kind of stuff. He has matured a whole lot. Even when John went down in the Southern game, Lenoris came right in and fit right in and played the rest of the season and gave us a SWAC championship and then lead us to the Celebration Bowl. Like I told them, all the quarterbacks have to be ready. There's the next man up. You're only one player away. So I think he took that challenge and rose to the occasion for the things he can do with the football and on the football field to being a leader of this offense.
All right, now coming up this Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff, ESPN MEAC-SWAC Challenge, the Alcorn State Braves taking on the Bethune-Cookman University Wildcats. Now, when you look at this team, Coach, they've been known to play fast. They have this offense. Under the previous coach, Brian Jenkins, that they called the Daytona Speedway offense because they were just moving that fast. When you look at this team on tape, what are some of the things that you have to be aware of or your team has to be aware of headed into this game?
I think they got a good program. I think Coach Sims done an outstanding job with his staff and getting that team where they're at now. I'm excited to be playing Bethune Cookman. It's a challenge for us. They do a lot of things well on offense. You got a good running back, and the quarterback is pretty talented. They got some big receivers, and we just got to be ready for them on defense. And on defensive wise, they got big defensive linemen. That pretty talented linebackers as well as defensive backs. So overall, they're a pretty good football team, and we just got to be able to play our A game against those guys and make sure that we up for the challenge and just bring our A game when we play them. Because I'm quite sure Coach Sims is going to have them ready to bring their game against us down there in Daytona.
Now, you guys have been picked to repeat for the third year in a row as the SWAC Eastern champions. What, other than win all